part 2 of the cleaning of the ST. We got it up in the air, and what we're going to do first is, well, I've already done the front wheel arches. I'm just going to drop a bit of snow foam in there just to try and get off any of the last little bits. But we have had the stiff bristle brush in there and got all the crap off there, so they look a lot better. What I will do is apply a bit of dressing to them once I've finished doing the rest of it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to apply some snow foam, let that dwell, brush any of the little areas with the little detailing brush I've got, and then we shall, depending on how bad it is, and I don't think it's that bad, let's have a quick look. I'll do it for good measure just to show you really. We'll get some citrus power from Auto Finesse, get some of that around the lower edges, and then rinse all that off, and we shall give it a wash. This is what we shall be using today. So we're going to start off with some snow foam, then we're going to get some citrus on the go, we're going to wash, then we're going to iron out, tar remover, then we're going to wash over it again just to get rid of any last bits of chemical on the paint. Then we're going to clay bar, which I haven't actually got out. It's in here somewhere, I think. It's in there somewhere, I know it is. Clay bar, and then some polish and wax. First of all, we've got some Polar Blast, which is the snow foam we're using today. I quite like it. I've tried several different ones, and for me this one is by far smells the best, and so far it cleans quite well. So 150 to 200 ml in your snow foam lance, top it up with some warm water, and then spray it on the car. Right, so snow foam's all ready. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way upwards. We're getting the wheel well as well. That's the snow foaming done, and because I've got a little bit left, probably about a quarter, I'm going to, once I've done all the chemicals like the fallout remover and the tar and glue, throw a little bit of this back over it again, and then I can rinse it and wash it. Next up, get a little detailing brush into all the little nooks and crannies that we can. So now I'm going to do all the little bits that you've just seen me on this side, I'm going to do on that side, and then we'll get to rinsing off before this stuff dries on. So as I mentioned previously, I'm going to spray this all along these areas up to about the bump strip, over the rear arch, in the rear arch. Obviously the same with that is what I'd normally do. Obviously the arches and that have been cleaned themselves, so they'll be fine for that, and the car's not actually that dirty. But we'll do that. We'll go all over the boot and the rear bumper, do the same on the other side and across the front. That's been left to dwell for about a minute and a half. Rinse them all down and your jobs are good. Okay, so now that's all washed off. There is still bits left on there, but I think that's just, you can't really get everything off straight away, you know, without touching it with the wash mitt. but obviously you take the steps of snow foam and citrus power and pre-washes and stuff to try and help loosen it all off and to lessen the amount of dirt that actually gets on the mitt when you do make contact with a vehicle. So next thing is washing. Time lapse that for you again, because you don't really need to see all of that. You know how to wash a car, I'm pretty sure. Start from the top, work your way down. One thing you'll see me do is what I mentioned in part 1, is where I get the one mitt and I go around the whole rear of the car, and that mitt then doesn't go back into the bucket at all, because you're just going to be putting contaminants back into the water that you're then going to wash the rest of the vehicle with. So yeah, let's go. So now that one goes to one side and it'll just get rinsed out at the end when everything else gets cleaned out, but there is quite a lot of crap on there, and that's what you don't want going back in your bucket. Put that wash mitt now on the side of the wash bucket, and I'll show you how I rinse the mitt off before it goes back into the bucket. So gun nozzle comes out. I hold the mitt, run the water through it, flip the mitt over, do the same again. What I then do is inspect the mitt, make sure there are no bits left on there, and if there are, rinse it again, pick them out, either or, and then you're good to go. There we have, car's fully washed now, left, right, up, down, back, front, all of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the fallout remover and we're going to try spray it on there, and we're going to try and get rid of all these little black marks, and with the tar and glue as well, obviously. And not too sure if we're picking it up on camera or not, but there are a lot of black marks across there. Obviously there's some on here as well. You can see them pretty clear. But yeah, they're all down the side skirts, passenger door, front door, over the arches, and yeah, that's the arch that was cleaned anyway. Looks all nice. Not that you can see because of the glare from the sun, but all these bits that you can see, it's just water. So yeah, there we go. Let's get cracking. Auto Finesse iron out and spray it all over the lower part of the car. And leave that to dwell now. Hopefully you'll start seeing the bleeding coming out like we did with the wheels in the last part. So leave that for a couple of minutes, and I'll show you when it's if and when it starts bleeding. There we go. You see it all running down, and it's good because it even gets into the little bits that you couldn't even see from before. So the bigger bits it is obviously bleeding out, and you can see it all running down. But yeah, it even gets the bits that you wouldn't even notice. So what we're going to do is do that over the rest of the car, and we shall rinse it off after. Right, so I've got brand new cloth. I've just got out my packet. It's only a cheap one, and I use these ones for when I'm doing bits with chemicals like tar and glue remover and stuff. So what I've got is some, ignore the bottle because it's not clay lube at all. It's just an empty bottle and the spray nozzle's good. So I'll put some Auto Finesse Obliterate in here. That's what the solution is. Just going to spray it across there, and then we'll use obviously the clean microfiber after, just to wipe it all off. But before that, I'll show you how it reacts with all the tar spots. Right, there we go. It's been left for a couple of minutes and you can see all the tar spots are draining. And they're running out the same as the iron out does. That will get rid of all the tar spots. Oh, another couple there. So yeah, I'll get the cloth in a minute and we'll wipe all that off. So what I'll do now, I'll get the clay bar out and I'll do this little section so you can see what we do. If you've never used a clay bar before, when you start to use it, you mould it all into a bit of a square shape if you can. Well, that's what I do anyway. Spray a little area, 6x6, 12x12, whichever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with. I'll spray a little area with the quick detailer that comes with it. We'll go over the paint and it will be really rough to start with, and then as you go in over the same spot you'll start to feel it go smooth. As soon as it goes smooth you can move over, and like I say, I'm going to do that across here for you to see, and then I'll continue around the rest of the car, but you don't need to see all that. The video will probably be long enough as it is. So without further ado, let's get claying. So I'm using the Meguiar's Quick Detailer and the Meguiar's Clay Bar. Again, it's personal preference when it comes to a lot of these things, and this is my personal preference. So I've kneaded out a piece of clay, it's about that big in your hand, and get some of this, spray it across there, use the clay bar. Usually once you've done this area will be all brown, but as you can see it's not too bad. Then what you do, once it does get to being brown, fold in on itself the bit that's just been touching the vehicle. So obviously that was where I was holding that side, that bit was on the vehicle. Fold that on itself, knead it all down but it's all flat again, and then obviously use some of that on the car again. The reason you do that is because if you fold it the other way and move, then the bit that's just been getting all the crap off the car is then going to go onto the other part of the car and you won't get as much off, and the clay bar won't be doing its job. So always fold it in on itself. So once I've done the claying process, a lot of people wash the vehicle over again. Then what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is snow foam over it around the whole car again, because obviously I've been around the whole car, and the places where I've had the chemicals is going to get snow foam just to draw any last little bits out. So again, here we go. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to show you, obviously just leave that to dwell now, and then rinse it off again as normal. I think I might wash it again after, just because I'm a bit anal when it comes to things like this. So I'm going to rinse that off, I'll wash it, rinse that off, and then be able to dry the vehicle safely. Then we'll be ready for polishing. Right, we've got, you guessed it, Auto Finesse Triple and a microfiber applicator. You put a little large pea size on the little cloth itself, working into a little area, and with things like this, less is always more. So we use the bit that's just all jizzed out of the top. It's a good starting point. As you can see, that's how much I'm going to use, and you'll see how much of the panel I'll do. One thing to remember is water's still obviously all in there, so it's coming out all along the bottom, probably from the light, and just be careful of it, that's all. When I'm doing it, I try to avoid swirling, because just in case there is the slightest piece left, or if there's anything on there, you're just going to scratch straight into the paint when you're swirling. Yes, okay, you can do it whilst you're going up and down, but I just don't like round movements. You know, you don't do it when you wash, I don't do it when I dry, so I certainly don't do it when I'm polishing or waxing. So I put a little pea size, worked it into an area until it goes clear. Once it's clear, you know you can move on a little bit more, repeat the process. So now that it's clear and it's left a couple of seconds to haze, get a microfiber cloth on it, just brush it all off. I've got the two front wheels, and what I forgot to show you on the in the last video when I did the rears was actually dressing the tyres themselves. So I'm going to grab my tyre gel and the applicator and we'll put some of that on. We've got some Auto Glim tyre gel, simply because that at the time was the only one I had in the shop. I think it was from Halfords, and it smells like cherry, so that's always a bonus, isn't it? The applicator itself, I can't remember where that was from, but as you can see, the bag that I have to store it in is greasy as hell, because that comes, all that excess that's in there comes out and goes everywhere, hence the glove as well. So what I'm going to do now is drop a little bit onto there in the middle, and then I'll show you spreading it out over the tyre. So got some on there. We're just going to follow the profile round like this. And make sure it's all evenly spread. There we go, it's half the tyre done pretty much. And I'll put a little bit more on here, and then we'll do this side of the tyre, and then we'll do that one. Okay, there we go, that's that one done, and that one not done. So the reason that we used that brush on the tyres before was to get all the crap off the tyres as best we could. And a lot of people say that you can put some of that tar and glue remover that I used on the car on a little microfiber towel and go around it, and that gets rid of absolutely everything. But I've not done that this time, because these two are actually quite brand new. Well, not quite brand new, they're probably about less than 100 miles old. These two tyres are, so we've not gone with the tar and glue, we just used the stiff bristle brush. So now I'm going to copy that onto there, throw it back on the car. Right guys, I was waxing last night and the camera turned off, my battery died, so I haven't got any footage of that, but it's pretty much the same as the polishing process. Get it on the applicator pad, Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Just leave it to I think it depends on the wax, but if you leave it for about 5-10 minutes to haze over. Get the cloth, wipe the cloth on a little area, and if it has resistance and you can feel a bit of drag, then it's not ready to come off, it hasn't cured. But you only really want a very light dose, a very light skim over. Yeah, that was how I cleaned the car. I know this has been a long one, so well done for sticking around this far. I'm going to do a little couple of cinematics now of how the car looks. Probably won't be great because there was a bit of rain last night where I am, and it's kind of marked all the car again. But that's just life, I suppose. But yeah, thanks for watching, and stay safe in these times, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.